This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going back to that spooky, scary mansion with the clouds over it. Yep, it's time to relive Mysterium, because now we're looking at some hidden signs. This is an expansion for that popular game that adds some more cards. Basically, it's a lot more variability, no new mechanisms. Let me show you. Now this expansion comes with just new cards for variability, no changes in rules. It comes with 6 new object, location, and character cards. Let's take a look. And for the 6 objects, we have here, ice skates and a golf club. We have a stamp. We have a bear trap, sort of bellows that work with fire. And there's a lot of cards that have fire. And sort of this big box with a zebra on it. Now for the 6 different locations, again, same art style as the US version, but here you're maybe in a library where it has an armoire that's open with different things. There's a bird in here. There's an interesting dragon-looking creature there. Some purple stools. Some interesting things in this one. We have, it looks like someone's doing some laundry here. Some footprints, maybe some reflections. Clothespins, different things to look at on this one. Here we have, sort of like an entrance, but there's sort of a garden, there's a wagon, there's some, some birds, some wheels, things that you've been accustomed to see in this for a while. Here we have some interesting light. We have squares, we have black and white. It looks like some, some big gigantic stairs. Lots of different things you can pick up here. Some different things on the walls you can talk about. Here we have sort of a laboratory with, some chalkboards and books and skeletons and sort of science going on here. And finally we have this darkish one. Again, some ravens, some ropes coming down, maybe some wheels or tires, some numbers. Looks like it possibly could be water, maybe ice, different locations. And for characters, we have this guy, might be a locksmith maybe. There's a lock, there's some little tools here, some wires. There's maybe a flower, some nails. And here there's some clothespins. Maybe she's the person doing those laundries, or there's a little dust thing here, little hat, little book. Here we have a beaker. Maybe she was the scientist that we were just talking about earlier. There might even be guitar picks. Who knows? There's some bottles, a mink, a nice little hat there. We have like a compass type of thing, different things to draw with. So yeah, this one actually has a little ship in the background. Maybe she's a nautical person. And then here, we have the pocket watch with maybe a candlestick, sort of some rope, maybe someone that tends to horses. Maybe he's a jockey and that's what he whips the horse with. Who knows? And then here we have, a doll, a little train, some things that you'd find in kids' room. Maybe it's just, a grandpa. Now, in addition to those cards, there's one that the promo set is also in here. There was a promo that was for sale, and those 3 cards are in here. So for the weapon, there's a Ouija board, and for the location, it's sort of that seance room that the game is sort of about, with swords and plants, crystal ball, light coming in. And then there was sort of a gardener with some shears, some gardens, and things like that. So these were in a promo pack, which I actually already had, but it's in this version as well. And they're marked on here as like P as in promo. Now, along with those cards are obviously the ones that have that same art on them that the ghost will use behind their shield. And they're all labeled HS as in hidden signs, so you know which one came from the expansion. Of course, those are the promo ones, but all the cards we've looked at so far come again in these size cards for the ghost. And this is my favorite part of the expansion. There's 42 new vision cards that the ghost will be handing over to the psychics to try to tell them what their clue is. And this is the part I think needed the most variability in the game. Let me show you some of my favorites. Now the box says it was done by 2 different artists, Xavier Collette, who did the original US version, or at least some of the US original version, and Igor Bolakov. And I could tell that the art style in some of these cards are different. They're more sort of brush technique as opposed to the digital art, but some of these are pretty cool. These are some of my favorite ones. Look at this thing. I'm not even going to talk because these are just beautiful that you can just that is just such a cool little image there. Little snake. Wow. Maybe that's the apple. Who knows? Look at this. Really cool things here. But you'll see that some of them, some of them are a little bit different style than some of the other ones. And there we have nice outdoor image there. And that's the last one I'll show you. To see the rest of them, you're gonna have to get the game. I don't want to spoil the whole thing for you. And that's the expansion. All right, there you have Mysterium Hidden Signs. Now, this game, in general, Mysterium, is one that I still love. A year later, I'm loving it. I'm actually playing it a ton still, which says a lot because I don't get a lot of time to play games that I'm not reviewing these days. Mysterium always seems to come out in many settings. I love the cooperative aspect. I still love the game a lot. And for me, I really did need this expansion because after playing it as many times as I had, you know, you start to see the same cards, not so much on the people, place, and characters, but oh my gosh, really with the dream cards, because I often play the Ghost, and I'm seeing the same cards every single game. I'm going through the deck at least once a game, and this is gonna help combat that a little bit by having all, you know, a bunch of those new sort of Ghost dream cards, those vision cards as they call them. And then obviously having the 6 more, you know, people, place, and things is always good because you can shuffle those in, get some new things there. But the bigger thing here for me is having those extra vision cards. If they can keep making those, that will keep this game fresh, I think, for sure. Just like when you play Dixit a lot. That's why there's so many expansions for that, because after a while you get tired of seeing the same cards. And I felt almost the same with Mysterium at this point. So this expansion is a humongous double thumbs up for me. No added mechanisms, just more variability, exactly what the game needed. So if you like Mysterium and you play it a lot and you're tired of seeing the same vision cards and such, no brainer. Absolutely get this. I highly recommend it. That's Mysterium Hidden Signs.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for backing me on Kickstarter and making this season become a reality. I'd like to especially thank those here that have backed me at the credit level. Now, these video reviews are also available by audio on our podcast. It's the intros and the final thoughts on GameBoyGeek.com. Click podcast.